I live right underneath the flight path, and we usually don't record at this house. We've done it like maybe 10 times, but
Yeah,
it gets pretty loud, especially when the microphone's just focused on me. So I'll try to
okay,
like mute it or something when that happens.
fair enough.
Let's see. Okay, so it's starting up,
Says
and
live.
yep. So I'm just gonna kick it to you. We'll do a little like just a small intro, and then we'll
Okay,
start talking about Rival.
sounds good.
And it's Rival, right? I think I've been calling it Rivals all day.
I think it's rival, yeah, because it was supposed to be a rival, and then they cut it off, so it's rival.
Okay, cool. Okay, so today we have Brandon Lasher from TJRWrestling.com with us. He covers NXT for the site, and he's here to talk about NXT Takeover Rival. Hey, how are you doing today, Brandon?
Pretty good. Just finished a day of work.
All right. Was it a pretty long day?
Yeah, teaching. I mean, I've mentioned that in my columns. I'm a 10th grade English teacher, so a lot of Shakespeare and a lot of depressing books today.
Nice. Well, thank you for joining, taking some time out of your day and joining me for the conversation about NXT.
Oh, happy to.
Yep, and you've been around pretty much since NXT became a big feature selling point of the network. Is that correct?
I think it was yeah about a month or two after that, because I think the first NXT show I ever actually watched was the very first one, the first time they took over. I'm blanking on the name right now, but the very first show they ever had in February. And then I started reviewing it, I think, about June of last year when Lone Star kind of went away, and then I took over the show then for that too. So I've been doing it for, wow, about 9 months now almost.
Yeah, it seems like you've settled into the groove pretty well. And were you a fan of like WWE developmental before starting to cover it?
Well, that's my hidden secret is no, I really wasn't. So, I mean, I was doing columns on TGR, and I just, I kind of wanted a break from column writing, and I saw that NXT was there, and I liked the May Takeover show, the one with was it Tyson Kidd and Neville. And so I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, this is a pretty cool show. Maybe I can get in the groove of doing like a review and still contribute to the site. And man, I'm glad I did because it's just gotten better since then.
Do you feel? I mean, I think this kind of goes for a lot of WWE fans. Do you feel like it's the strongest part of WWE programming right now?
Oh man, without a doubt, right? And I mean, they just it's so simple, like the formula of it, and it's just like good wrestling, very straightforward things, really putting value in the belts. I mean, there's no doubt on a consistent basis NXT is their best show.
Does that make you a fan of Triple H? Aaron and I have argued about Triple H a lot over the course
Yeah.
of this podcast, and what's your view on him?
Well, remind me again, which one of you likes Triple H?
Aaron loves Triple H. I like him now, but before I kind of gave him a hard time.
Okay. Well, as much as I like to get in a brother fight there, because I'm a brother too, he's going to join me for WrestleMania. I got to agree with you. Like, I was really irritated by Triple H in like the early 2000s when I thought he didn't put over like Booker T and RVD and people like that. But I've really liked Triple H the last couple of years. I mean, his wrestling, he's really put over people. And if this really is his baby, as it seems to be, then man, he's got my respect, and I want him to run the main show.
Yeah, kind of looking forward to that day when Vince McMahon steps down.
Yeah, and I hate to do that because we recognize how much Vince has like contributed to it, but
Hmm.
things have been very repetitive for like the last couple of years here now, and it's like, come on, Vince, move on. Especially I think with women's wrestling, which I'm sure we'll talk about. Like Vince is just, I think he's pretty clueless.
Yeah, especially when it comes to Divas Wrestling. But yeah, let's get right into Rival. I wanted to ask you just to give a quick outline of your thoughts on the show before we get into a match by match talk.
Okay. Well, my thoughts is it's an excellent show.
Hmm.
I would probably give it, probably about like an A. And the thing is, the show before it, the Evolution or Revolution, whatever they want to call it, was so good that, by comparison, it's like, was this one as good? And I don't know about like card to card bottom, but I think the top three matches were definitely the equal of anything that occurred on that special. So that's a very solid like A in my book. I mean, it was just a fun show.
Yeah, I think I would agree. It's hard to compare anything to the last show just because it was so amazing. With the debut of Owen, Satami, and Balor, but this one was really good as well.
Yeah.
What did you think of the opening match with Atami and Tyler Breeze?
Well, I don't know about you, but I thought that was like a perfect pick. Like if you're gonna open the show with like a good fun match, that was the one to do it. I mean, they really didn't have as much build, right? You know, Tommy and Breeze, but I knew if those two were given about, I think they had about 8 9 minutes. If they were given about 8 9 10 minutes, they could have like a fun opening match. So I think that was a really smart choice. You know, it was kind of put in there at what the last second, but I think Breeze can work really well with anyone, and I think Tommy's getting a little more comfortable in the last couple of weeks.
What do you think is Breeze's ceiling? Because I like his look. I think he's really athletic. He's a surprisingly good wrestler for I think the gimmick that they kind of give him. Do you
Right.
think the gimmick is going to saddle him at all, or do you think that he's going to have a successful run in WWE?
I don't know. I think gimmicks are tough to really get over. I mean, I think you mentioned on your podcast last week like the best gimmick ever was Undertaker, but that's more of like the exception than the rule, right? I mean, most
Yeah.
people that have like those crazy gimmicks don't really go much higher than like the middle card. Because if you look at Breeze, I mean, he's a really good wrestler. He really knows how to play that, but man, he really doesn't. I just don't think he has much further he can go. I mean, I'd hate to see him go to the main roster and be like a Fandango or something. I mean, he has more talent than that, but I'm wondering if the gimmick holds him back, and I think it will.
Like a Fandango or a Adam Rose, somebody like that.
Right, and I think he's actually a better wrestler than both of them. But well, maybe I've heard some things about Adam Rose, but I haven't actually really seen it. But I just think he's going to get lost on the main roster like Bo Dallas or Adam Rose are. So
I
stay on
mean,
NXT.
yeah. How about a Tommy? It's clear that he plays a really great underdog babyface. Do you think that he has a little bit of like a future like Daniel Bryan in him?
Well, of all of the people who've shown up recently, I mean, he's been the one I've been most like questioning, so it's probably good that he's kind of staying in NXT for a while.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, Vince really hasn't had a history of pushing wrestlers from Japan. I would say well, obviously there was Yokozuna, but I'd say the most popular that he kind of reminds me of a little bit, especially with the kicks, is Tajiri.
Uh-huh.
And Tajiri had a really good career, and man, Tajiri had like some of the best kicks I've ever seen. And I think Itami is starting to kind of like fit into that kind of like mold as well too. I really wish there was something like a cruiserweight title, right, for people, because someone like Itami would be like perfect for that.
Yeah, it'd be great. And even throw in somebody like Tyler Breeze, where all of a sudden he has a little bit of a higher ceiling because he could do something more with like sized guys.
Yeah, that's why I love that you see like Cena feuding with Rusev over the U.S. title. It's like, do we really need two secondary titles? They're the same. I mean, give us a cruiserweight title because I think it would give people like Breeze or Tommy or maybe even some Enzos. I don't know, some chance when they went to the main roster.
Yeah, and you mentioned Itami as kind of you regard him least out of the top three that came in last year, which isn't bad at all. It's just
Yeah,
there was two other guys ahead of him,
yeah,
are Owens and Balor, who are clearly being pushed pretty well in NXT. I'm going to jump forward just a little bit, and we'll kind of get back to some other matches in a sec. But
okay.
what did you think of that Balor and Adrian Neville match?
Well, I was looking at the reviews. Man, it's tough to pick a favorite, but I honestly think that might have been my favorite match on the card. And it was really like a perfectly well built thing. I mean, it started like really kind of like slow, and Neville kind of like worked on Balor there. But man, like the last 10 minutes of that is, it's what I expected that match to be. It was really fast paced and false finishes, and the crowd really got into it because I don't think they had really, other than a couple of times in the Itami match, I don't think they had really gotten into the show until that match too.
Yeah, I totally agree. Do you think part of that is Balor's entrance? It's so unique that it just immediately kind of gets the fans pumping.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think I wrote that in like the review, and then I wrote it at the previous NXT special. I don't usually see people do the holy S chant to like an entrance, but they've done that to his entrance before because it's so unique, it's so well done, and I really do hope, and that's what I appreciate about them is like they keep it limited like they do, like they've only done it at the specials. Because could you imagine if we went to WrestleMania 31 and that entrance was there? I mean, it would be spectacular.
Actually, really hoping for it, but we'll see. I doubt it's
Probably.
going to happen, but it would be great to have like an NXT match there.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't feel we'll get that lucky, but he's definitely gonna. I'd say by WrestleMania 32, he'll probably be doing his grand entrance there. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, just for spectacle alone, it just makes sense to have him, put that on the biggest stage of all.
Oh,
Are
yeah,
you
absolutely.
are you as impressed with his actual ring work?
I think his ring work is really good. What do you think about it?
No, I like him a lot. I mean, I think that he's somebody that if it wasn't for the look, he's a high level prospect. But
Sure.
because he has that look, he's just one of the highest level prospects that they have outside of Owens.
Right. I mean, look goes a long way. I mean, he's got the unique entrance. He's a really good talker, and then when you throw in the fact that he's at the very least an above-average worker, and I think he might even be better than that, he's in good shape. I mean, going against Neville, though, I mean, man, everyone's going to look good against Neville.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Neville. I mean, I think he's probably the next in line to move to WWE. Are you excited about that, or are you a little bit worried that they're gonna, because he's a smaller guy, kind of not push him in the right direction?
Oh man, I'm really worried about it. I mean, we saw kind of what happened with Daniel Bryan. It took like many years for Daniel Bryan to get where he was, because I think size-wise they're pretty comparable. In fact, Neville might even be smaller than Bryan. But I'm really worried he's going to get lost in the shuffle, and it's a shame. It's like if you just give that guy 10, 15 minutes, I mean, he's a lot like Tyson Kidd. He's going to make anyone look good.
No, I totally agree. The athletic things that he can do are pretty insane. So I hope that when he does make it to WWE, they don't kind of just make him a throwaway guy.
Well, they've done it before.
I know. Well, let's hope that this will be a different scenario. But
I hope so.
going back, there's a couple of not so big matches. There was Baron Corbin versus Bull Dempsey. Are you excited about either of those guys?
Nope.
Okay.
I think that's all I need to say.
So it wasn't that impressive of a match.
I
That
think.
one. Go
Oh,
ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say. Someone put this on my like review for their thing, and I kind of agree with them. It's like Corbin's entrance is really good, and I loved when he came out and he beat people up in 15 seconds. But then he made the mistake of having longer matches and talking, and it's just like the guy's green. I mean, when Dempsey's carrying you, you got a problem.
I think WWE tends to do that where they'll take a flyer on a bunch of big guys and just
Right.
hope that somebody sticks. And I don't really. I'm hope I'm not being too harsh, but like I don't know if he's going to be that guy to stick.
Well, I mean, if they keep him in NXT for a while, he could be good. But I mean, I don't really honestly think the crowd in NXT is excited about him. And if they're not excited about him, then what hope does he have when he goes to the next level?
True. The next match was Blake and Murphy versus the Lucha Dragons for the NXT tag titles. Blake and Murphy ended up winning that match. I know I was a little bit disappointed by that, and Aaron was a little bit disappointed by that because it didn't seem like they had the best chemistry between the two of them. How did you feel about that match?
Oh, I agree with both you guys. I mean, I thought it was. I mean, I don't think I've seen Kalisto like slip as much as he
Yeah,
did. Like he slipped like two, three times in the beginning of that match. And I think I said it in my reviews, and I'm just kind of confused about Blake and Murphy. I think they're good wrestlers. I think Blake and Murphy are a good team, but they pretty much lost. Like I don't think I reviewed like a show where they won in 2014, and then in pretty much what was it, two matches they go and beat champions. It seems like it's strange, and maybe I'm just bitter because I love the Vaudevillains and they got passed over.
no, the Vaudevillains are like Aaron's favorite tag team in all of wrestling right now, so he was pretty upset too. But do you have a lot of hope for Blake and Murphy going forward?
I mean, I think they're a pretty good team. I mean, the last part of that match was a little better, especially when Blake and Murphy were making some of those hot tags. It didn't work there, and that's a shame because I think the Lucha Dragons have shown that they're when they're clicking on all cylinders, they're a good team. So it just depends who they put Blake and Murphy up with.
I totally agree. I thought one of the best matches of the night was Sasha Banks versus Charlotte versus Bayley versus Becky Lynch. What did you think of that as a featured Divas match?
Well, when I was kind of thinking about it earlier, if I said Baylor and Neville was my favorite match, but a very close second, if not sometimes the first, would be this match. I mean, I, I was saying in my reviews, and I'm thinking I'm repeating that a lot, but I was saying that Fatal Four Ways are tough. I mean, to do a really good Fatal Four Way is really tough to do, and I was worried about having the four of them there, but it met and exceeded my expectations. I mean, I love the new. I really do love Bailey. Maybe not as much as Andrew Johnson there, but I do love Bailey, and I thought like her new aggressive side was really kind of solid. Sasha Banks has got to be like the most improved wrestler of 2014. I mean, where I saw her at the beginning of the year to the end of the year is impressive. So, I mean, they were like doing flips and suplexes and things like that on the top ropes, and it was like, man. I know the people on the main roster can do this, and why don't they let them? Because it was a fantastic match with the right person winning, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. Some of I mean, Bailey's belly to belly suplex, I think looks awesome, especially off the top rope. That was
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, that looked really good.
But Becky Lynch, who doesn't obviously look like a big woman, was able to do that. I don't know what you would call that suplex, where she hooks the legs and throws the girl over her head. Was
Okay.
really impressive. Just the for that kind of strength coming out of a diva. And you do have to figure that guys, or I'm sorry, ladies on the main roster would be able to pull that off. But it's strange that they don't give them the time.
Yeah, I've never understood that. It's like, I'm upset for someone like Emma or Paige. I know AJ Lee or maybe even to some Naomi could all like do something like that if they gave them the time. So you got to be like one of those, divas on the like NXT and go, oh, good. Now I'm going to go to the main roster and, we'll do angles where like Paige loses his clothes or her clothes or something. I mean, it's just bizarre. And I love the fact that Triple H said on the Stone Cold podcast that like I want more women's wrestling. And I hope that once Vince sees more and more of these matches, that he'll recognize that they can give him 10, 15-minute things like that.
No, I totally agree. It seems like a money making opportunity too. If you put good women's wrestling on TV, you might expand your female audience and sell more merchandise. But I mean, if anything, it was 15 minutes. I'm not sure how long the match actually was, but
It's
it felt
about
like
12, yeah.
12 minutes.
Yeah, I think
Um,
about
it,
it.
it was just really good time used. I mean, usually when you see on the main roster a Divas match that has more than two people or more than three people, it's a huge mess that usually goes between 2 and 6 minutes. So to see them give that much time and have all four girls featured and look great was pretty surprising.
Yeah, and I think, since the fact that Charlotte lost, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if we see her moving up pretty soon. And I hope, because of the cloud of someone like Charlotte and who her dad is and all that, that maybe, just maybe, we can see her do some wrestling with Paige and Naomi's and people like that who can really work on the main roster.
You know what was funny about that match too is it was the lead into the main event of Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and usually they'll have the women's match kind of be the buffer before the main event, to kind of
Right.
cool things down a little bit. But instead, it just felt like great wrestling match, great wrestling match, great wrestling match. What did you think of that main event?
It was an interesting main event because I mean, one, it shows that Owen can work, and I mean, I don't think he's not really that tall of a guy, is he?
I don't think so. He appears big just because of his general size.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing about Owen is like that perfect shirt, just the KO shirt. His music is so like simple. Like I don't think he's legitimately like a huge man, but he comes across as like unbeatable and tough. And how they laid out that match was really good. I mean, he plays like the cowardly heel the first couple minutes, and then he really kind of works on Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, kind of does like the underdog thing. And then I love like, he just makes the one mistake, right, and hits his head on the steel steps, and that leads to that very brutal and I think really well planned out finish to the show.
Yeah, I totally agree. I thought it was smart booking, even if it might have been a little overbooked, instead of having just a straight winner for that match. So would you say that was your third favorite match of the night?
Um, Man, it's close. It was either that or the Tommy Breeze match would be third, but it's definitely below the other ones. I mean, but we were spoiled, right? I mean, the previous special had Neville versus Zayn, and it was so good. And I know these two have worked together a lot, and so I look forward to the. Obviously, it looks like there's a rematch coming at the next special.
Yeah, I know. Usually, when you see a good pay per view, like a main roster pay per view, you have two, maybe three good matches on there, and you had, I think, four good matches on this 2 hour special. So it was pretty nice to see.
Yeah, 2 hour special, four really good matches. I mean, man, how often do we get that on the main roster at this point?
I know it's pretty crazy, but I have to ask you, who are you more excited about going forward, Finn Balor or Kevin Owens?
For me right now, I think it'd be a Finn Balor, and that once again that's really close. That's kind of a tough one to do, but I mean Finn's got the momentum and he can work a really fast pace, and I think Owens can too. It's just I think we've only really seen two Owen matches in NXT, which is just crazy. He's been in two matches, and he's the NXT World Champion.
Yeah, I know. He's made an impact already. It would be kind of fun to see when he eventually gets to WWE how they push him because it seems like they're pretty high on him.
Well, if they push him this way, I think he would be a fantastic heel for him, and they desperately need some heels on the main roster.
So you said earlier that you would give the pay-per-view, or I'm sorry, the special event. Yeah,
Yeah,
now
especially.
now in the day of WWE Network, you would give it an A. Are you really excited about this week's NXT episode?
I'm always excited about the NXT episodes. I mean, there was a period there when I was like, stressing. I thought they were kind of spinning their wheels, but ever since like our evolution, I mean, this shows have been good. I mean, it's probably my favorite hour on TV right now. Well, either that or Lucha Underground.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Lucha Underground too, so I'm glad you said it.
Have you got Aaron to watch that yet?
I have not, and what's funny is I actually because I've been illegally finding the show every week,
Right.
but I actually just had the channel kind of come to me, so I'm watching it legally now, and I'm trying to get Aaron to watch it too. But we'll see. He's pretty slow on those kind of things.
Yeah, I've had El Rey in HD, so I watched it from the beginning, and man, that's a fun show. So I mean, and both the shows like NXT and Lucha Underground, I mean, they're very simple shows. It's like you push the wrestlers, you continue the storylines, you fight over belts. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that difficult. I think the main roster sometimes overthinks things.
Totally agree. Aaron did demand that I ask you one specific question, and
Okay.
it's one that I think we've had a couple people on answer in our limited amount of interviews. Who are your top five wrestlers of all time?
Man, I,
Putting him
I,
on the spot.
I don't know if I would go in order, but I'm thinking back, like, I first started watching WWE, well, consistently about 1998. That was a good year. That was when like Stone Cold and Vince were really feuding. So
Yeah, it's
I'd
a
say, like,
great year.
yeah, it was a fantastic year. That's why I keep watching. Let's see, the top five. I don't know if I can name them specifically in order, but I've always enjoyed, well, not, of course, San Diego's own Rey Mysterio. He was always probably one of my favorite five.
Great answer.
Yeah, Edge. I really loved Edge growing up. Kurt Angle. That's definitely three right there. Let's see, two more. CM Punk. I miss CM Punk immensely.
Same here. Same here.
And let's see, a fifth. I'm gonna go with a female wrestler because I just always appreciated her work, and that was Trish Stratus.
Yep, she's. I think it's either her or Mickey James. I think Trish Stratus had a longer run.
Right.
Kind of doubtless the greatest female wrestler in WWE,
Yeah. And
modern WWE.
yeah. So I'd say those are probably five, and I'd say Daniel Bryant's probably next. I do definitely have a Daniel Bryant shirt around here somewhere.
So you're a Daniel Bryan over Roman Reigns guy?
Oh, definitely. And I think it's just the case that Roman Reigns is he's just not ready yet. And I mean I like a lot about him. I think I think he does have the look they're looking for. But if it was the old days and he was like Macho Man Steamboat and he's going for the Intercontinental title, I think that would be the perfect spot for him. But you know, give us Brock versus Daniel Bryan. It would be a crazy match, and I know I would love it at WrestleMania.
It's almost too obvious.
Yeah, too obvious. Giving fans what they want. What a crazy concept.
Well, thank you, Brandon, for being on the show. Is there anything that you wanted to push this week?
Well, as always, please keep reading my NXT reviews. Love to get kind of comments on that too. I'm trying to stay away from spoilers. People keep telling me like crazy stuff is going to happen and unexpected surprises, and that's why we watch NXT. So yeah, keep reading the NXT reviews and telling me what you think of it.
All right, cool, man. Thank you very much for being on. I hope to do this again with you, and I guarantee you next time Aaron will be on the show.
Okay. Well, we got WrestleMania coming, and I heard you guys are going there, and I'm going to my first WrestleMania. So we
Yeah, I
hope.
forgot to ask you that about that. Are you also going to the Raw the night after?
Man, I can't. I have to come back and teach. It's
Uh,
terrible, right?
yeah, having priorities, responsibilities. That's good.
I know responsibilities, but I'm going to Access, and I am going to see Mick Foley do his show, and it's gonna be awesome.
Well, we gotta catch up when we get there because Aaron and I are going up on Saturday. Unfortunately, we're gonna miss Access. We're doing a little like mini bachelor party for myself on Saturday night, and then Sunday we're going to Mania. But yeah, man, let's get a beer when we go there.
Okay, yeah, we'll see you guys at Levi Stadium.
All right, sounds good, man. So thank you very much, Brandon, for being on the show this week.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. That is it. So yeah, I thought that was great. I really appreciate you being on the show.
Oh,
Um,
I appreciate being on your show. I've always listened to it when I'm grading.
Yeah, if it's cool with you, like if you want to come on for other NXT shows, we'd be glad to have you, and we could probably do it on a Monday next time. My only issue this last week was we went on a little Valentine's Day trip, so I can blame it on her. And like we would Monday would have worked because Aaron and I are both off on Monday. We
Oh, nice.
usually we take like a little hike in the morning and then we have the rest of the day. So if you wanted to do that next week, we wouldn't have to wait till Tuesday or not next week, next pay per view or whatever.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
about me, I think.
yeah, I mean if you're cool with that, we would love to have you.
Sure, I'd love to do it. I mean, man, NXT is just really good right now, so it'd be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's by far and away my favorite thing to watch. Along with Lucha Underground, so I'm happy about it.
Okay, well, just keep telling Aaron to watch it because it's so much fun. I was
Yeah,
actually
he makes it like he has like too much on his plate and everything, but he's the most laid back person in the world. So I don't know why he hasn't watched it yet.
okay. Well, yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing the rest of the show too.
Okay, cool. Thanks again.
Yeah. Have a good night.
All right, you too. See ya.